Tuesday Tactic, and we're live. McKenna, happy Tuesday.
Happy cold, snowy Tuesday.
Yeah, last full working week of December. We got next Friday, Christmas, and then the Friday after is New Year's Day, I think it is.
Yeah.
Craziness.
We're almost through the finish line, 2020.
2020, crossing the finish line. That's right. Today, I'm excited, McKenna. You had, in our Slack channel, you had mentioned, hey, let's talk about Facebook custom audiences. I thought that's a really great idea because it's something that's been around for a few years, and I still think it's underutilized. I think a lot of people who manage Facebook ads are still boosting posts, which is great, but sometimes can be sort of ineffective in getting the desired result that you're wanting from Facebook ads. We have a lot of people who run video ads to get video views, which is cool, to a very broad audience. But when it comes to strategically targeting online, to me, there's not many greater tools than Facebook custom audiences. You can really sort of get to use a metaphor, the scalpel out as a marketer and get so precise with your targeting. And so when we talk about Facebook custom audiences, what we mean is the ability to use customer lists, website visitors, and even social media engagements as a way to target your potential customers, your existing customers, and your evangelists. So we're going to walk through actually today what that looks like in the Facebook Business Manager. As we talked about last week, McKenna, we started with the Facebook framework because we wanted to stay out of Business Manager. So today,
here we are.
We're jumping right in. But if you didn't watch last week's Tuesday Tactic, I would definitely recommend doing that because it does outline just how to think about your Facebook campaigns. Mm-hmm. This is kind of like Facebook marketing 200, 300 level class. So brush up on the 101, then come back and watch this one. So Facebook custom audiences, when we're dealing with customer lists, when we're dealing with website visitors, there are some challenges. Obviously it's not just you're not 3 clicks away from starting an ad campaign. There is some front loading that needs to happen. So if you want to target website visitors that have come to your website and left without purchasing or submitting a lead form, then you have to install a Facebook Pixel. And if you're unsure what that's all about, there's hundreds of articles about installing a Facebook Pixel, but just know that there is some things that need to happen before you get to custom audiences. But McKenna, I think now might be a good time to just kind of jump into the Business Manager itself. And so McKenna's going to walk us through sort of where in the Facebook Business Manager you find this. And I think we're looking at the ad set part of the framework, correct? So we've created a campaign. Maybe we're saying we want more customers to purchase our apparel online. Mm-hmm. That's sort of our campaign goal. And now we're sort of creating our audience. We can decide what gender, what location, but this is where custom audiences live.
Yeah, exactly. So probably what most people are more familiar with is this targeting based on gender and age range and location that Facebook allows you to do. But right up here, if you want to create a custom audience, that's kind of what we're talking about today. And we've been talking about it a lot lately with the holidays, just trying to hit people on a bunch of different channels. So our first example is going to be uploading customer lists. And so these can come from your email list, specifically is one we like to use a lot. It can be from MailChimp, Constant Contact. If you have just a spreadsheet of email addresses from an event or a farmer's market or something like that, you can upload that here. It can come from any number of sources.
Yeah, usually it can just be an export from your point of sale system. It could be your Square customers, and you want to give anybody that's purchased from you before a VIP discount, but you don't want anybody that hasn't purchased from you to see that discount. So this could be a great way. You export your Square customers and you import them to Facebook. And there's a lot of integrations too. McKenna and I were looking at some. So if the thought of doing that every time you want to run a campaign makes you sick, Google has expanded their integration list of third-party softwares.
Yeah, down here you can see you can import directly from MailChimp and integrate that way, which we use MailChimp, and you can segment really easily that way as well. But it's pretty straightforward once you know where to go. Once you download your list, all you have to do is drag and drop it here, name your audience. So for example, I'd say maybe MailChimp.
Yeah, MailChimp customers or something.
12, 20, 20 or something along those lines, just to keep it straight. But that would be all it takes to upload your own email list and be hitting those people in their inboxes and then again on social.
Yeah, your column headers, when you make that import, it's important just to make sure that it's labeled as email.
Yeah.
Usually your export will do that for you, but if you're running into issues, that could be one of the ways. Another thing, McKenna, we didn't talk about this, but I think you can also target using phone number and address, although I think it's a little less accurate because it sort of uses the email that you log into Facebook with to help target, if I'm remembering correctly. Cool.
Yeah.
Website. Should we talk website?
Yeah.
So again, if you want to target people who have visited your website, you've seen this before when you go and look at, a new pair of shoes, a watch, a new set of skis, and then those skis or that watch, those shoes follow you around the internet. This is retargeting, and this is how it works. So you're seeing sort of behind the scenes. You'll see that green circle next to default pixel. This tells us that our tracking pixel on this client website is working properly, so it's firing. If that's red, that means that you're not going to be able to build a retargeting list, unfortunately, but it does mean that you just have some troubleshooting to do to make sure that whoever installed that pixel, whether it was you or somebody on your tech or web team, lift up the hood a little bit and see what's going on. So you can see some of the options as McKenna kind of drops down here. You can choose to show your message to anybody that's visited your website in the last 30 days. And you can also, let's do include more people, McKenna, there. Or actually, let's do exclude. Yeah. So we're going to exclude anybody, if we scroll to the bottom there, anybody that has purchased. So now we're showing this message, maybe we have a new product line, maybe we have a big sale going on. But what we don't want to do is show a message to somebody that has come to the site, purchased, left, their shipment is in the mail. They go back on Facebook or Instagram and they start to see the same product they just purchased. That's a really negative experience. And just using this simple logic set, you can avoid delivering that. So definitely use those include, exclude to hone your audience and to make sure that your customers are getting a really relevant and in some cases a delightful ad experience.
And also that you're using your ad dollars to the maximum of their abilities,
right,
and not just re-hitting people that have already purchased.
Great point. Yeah.
Yeah, the website one is really super helpful. And then I think the last one we just wanted to touch on was kind of social engagement. So we'll show Instagram for an example, but the Facebook one is the same. So this would be anyone that has interacted with our page in the last year. Pretty simple. There's a few different options here. Anyone who's visited our account, anyone who's engaged, anyone who sent us a message. So there's ways you can customize it for people that have interacted with your Instagram account. Same thing for the Facebook page. And so just kind of, as we mentioned, hitting people in the organic, hitting people on the paid, hitting people in the email, really just trying to reach the right people on a lot of different platforms.
This audience is useful sort of if your account gets a lot of engagement or a decent amount of engagement, and if you're like Ford Motor Company, maybe you do want to only target people who engage with your post, because that audience is going to be, tens of thousands. But if you are a smaller sort of up and coming brand, maybe it's just anybody who visited your account you want to show messages to, because you're trying to gain followers. Your audience isn't large enough if you just do people who sent you a message, because you've only gotten 3 messages in the last month. So definitely take into account how large your audience will be. And usually Facebook will give you an estimate. So if you click something and then if you want to X out of this, McKenna, in that top right, you'll see potential reach. Right now, we don't have any targets, so we're showing it to the 230 million Americans that are active on Facebook. in order to save budget, we probably want to narrow that a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And as you continue to narrow, it'll show you on this dial if you're getting close to being too specific, which can also be a challenge. You don't want to show it to too few people. You want to open up your network and reach all potential customers that fit your product. So
yeah, it's possible to get too small when you're targeting. So we've covered a lot of really neat and really sometimes advanced features of Facebook ads, and it can feel maybe a little overwhelming if you're a business owner thinking, well, where do I start with all of these kind of neat targeting features that are available? And usually we recommend, starting simple, starting small with one audience, one of those that we mentioned. If the idea of adding a pixel to your website is daunting, then simply start with a customer list. If that's daunting, then you can start with people who have engaged on your social account, because that really is only a couple of clicks away if you have a Facebook ad account. And then, of course, you want to measure what impact that has on sales, and you want to measure the return on your advertising investment, which is such a key when you're spending hard-earned dollars on advertising. So all of these are measured the same way that a normal Facebook ad would be measured. You can track purchases, you can track the cost per click. So how much does it cost for somebody to click, for you to show this ad and for somebody to click on your ad? And then if you have a sense for, if you have 100 website visitors, how many visitors from that group of 100 will purchase? And maybe it's 3%, maybe it's 5%. And using some simple math, you can figure out, well, how much should I be paying for a click if I want to maximize revenue or maximize profit and see a return on that ad spend? And that's a question for you and your brand to determine. But usually, if you're in e-commerce, it's about 3 to 5% is what you can expect for we call that an e-commerce conversion rate. So track use that as a benchmark if you haven't benchmarked that before, and track sort of how your ads are performing, how your website's performing. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, shoot us an email, comment on all of our platforms. And Ken, anything we missed today?
No, I think that covers it. I would just encourage people to, test out a lot of different things. There's a lot of different ways to add custom audiences or target different people in Facebook Ad Manager. So just play around and try all the different things.
Yeah, kick the tires. That's great advice. Definitely get in there and see what you can build.
Yeah.
Thanks, McKenna.
Awesome. Thanks, Kyle.
All right. See ya.
Bye.